Welcome to My Scars, My Testimony, broadcast hosted by Nomzamo. Please stay tuned and consider subscribing to stay connected. Thank you.
Good evening, Sanbonani, Dumelang, Molweni, Lochani, Apsheni. Once again, it's a beautiful Friday with My Scars, My Testimony. You know, Fridays are for testimonies. So, namhlanje, sikhona futhi silana with your host, Usis Nomzamo, on Fridays. Ningakhohlwa babukeli, please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, My Scars, My Testimony, on TikTok, My Scars, My Testimony, and also on YouTube, My Scars, My Testimony. And please, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Singabonga kakhulu. So, you know, on Fridays, Osisinomzamo akahambi yedwa. Today I'm with a beautiful queen, strong queen, a wonderful queen. Umama Ulindiwe Khoza. Kunjani ma?
Ngiyaphila kunjani?
Ngiyaphila. Welcome to My Scars, My Testimony.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's Friday for testimonies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So umam Lindiwe sizothi nje ubani umam Lindiwe umuntu othi I want to know this wonderful woman.
Ulindi is one outspoken woman, a very strict mother. Have two children, Unaledi and Ulesedi. Ulesedi bekuyi last born. Above all, I actually don't know what else do I need to say about me. I think it's a lot that I can say about me. But being strong is, I don't know, that's what I hear people tell me and what they say about me, but I don't see myself as that strong person because of what I'm going through at the moment. But I'm trying. I'm also working, and I appreciate the support that I got and that I'm still getting from my company. They've been with me in this journey from day one, and I really appreciate it.
You mentioned indaba yokuthi ma people are saying you are strong.
Yes.
But through this season ondlula kuyo. So you mentioned also that you ungumama ukwai.
Yes, very much so.
So like can you tell us about your kids?
Mangaqala ngoNaledi. Unaledi is one. Actually, my kids, I have down to earth, very down to earth kids. They are not like me. Unaledi is even worse. She's very reserved. Well, Ngolesedi was actually someone Oilongore. Now he can be outspoken, but not like me, you know. There's part of him that was also reserved, you know, and kind. He had a temper, though. That's one thing that I had to deal with him about his temper. But I understood the kind of a child he was. He went mostly to private schools. He started his primary school at Rosebank Primary. He went to Vulega. From Vulega, he went to Rode Park War School in Ambach in Florida. And from there, he went to the college, what is this? The FET college, college to do electrical engineering. And from there, he went to Mo Africa Itlhokomele to do computer studies. He was a hardworking child, but though he was playful at times, in most cases, you know how boys are. Most of his time he was playful. And that's one thing that we used to fight about with him, that you need to put more effort in your studies. If you don't put more effort in your studies, you're not going to make it in this world, you know. Well, about Ulisedi, that is that so far. That's the little that I can say about him.
Ngiyezwa mamlindi ukuthi uthi he was, you keep mentioning ukuthi he was as umuntu who's no longer here.
Yeah.
Yes, can you take us through what happened to Ulisedi?
In 2022, Lesedi's birthday, actually he was born on the 22nd of July, 1999. So in 2022, on the 22nd of July, her sister just bought him a brand new phone for his birthday. And then that was on the 22nd. And then on the 23rd, we actually made an e-wallet for him. So he decided to go to Jabulani Mall to go get his money. And it wasn't that, it was in the afternoon, maybe around 5, 6, 7, somewhere there. And for some reason, because we're staying in Molapo, so Jabulani Mall is not very far, you know, from where we're staying. For some reason, on his way back, he decided to take the route of Jabulani Hostel. He had money. He could have opted, you know, to take a taxi or maybe to request so he can go back home safely. But for some reason, he decided to take that route. And
He was walking.
He was walking, yeah, he was walking. So, unfortunately, when he reached, when he was passing Jabulani Hostel, that's where he met up with those guys who attacked him. 3 of those guys who attacked him, and they stabbed him 7 times for his cell phone and his money. I understand that he kept asking for help, but there was no one, you know, who assisted during that time. And I also think that should he have got help quicker, he might have been alive. But because he didn't get help in time, and that's when he lost his life right there on that spot. So we were only informed because we had a family meeting in Tembisa by then. So when we were passing Mall of Africa, because we were driving, that's when we got a call about Lesedi. But they didn't want to tell us exactly what was happening. Someone just told us that Lesedi is injured. They wanted to find out exactly where we were by that time. and then we then told them that, no, we are passing Mall of Africa, we're coming there. And there were many people, who kept on calling us, trying to find out exactly where we were, But the thing is, they didn't call me. They called my daughter. They kept calling my daughter, So I could only hear through my daughter's responses, that something is terribly wrong with Lesedi, Up until Naledi decided to ask his cousin, because the last person to call my daughter was his cousin. And then that's when Naledi forced him to tell him exactly what is going on. And then that's when Siabonga told Naledi that, you know what, Lesedi has passed, that moment, just to hear that, that Lesedi was injured and stuff like that. He was stabbed and he passed. You don't wish to know how I felt during that time.
I can imagine the emotions, and I'm trying to buyela to the scenario la Lesedi bamgwaze khona 7 times. And then abantu, you said it took time ukuthi athole usizo to get help. So where did they get the number ukuthi to call your daughter? Did anyone mhlambe who knows uLesedi arrive there at the scene, or did the ambulance arrive and yamthatha to the hospital?
I don't know what is actually happening, what was happening with Lesedi from that time, because quite a number of miraculous things happened, Like someone who knew Lesedi went to my house to go inform, because my mom was my mom was at home, to go inform my mom that Lesedi is injured. Apparently, he didn't say that Lesedi has passed or whatever, Lesedi is injured next to Jabulani Hostel. And then that's when my mom, I think she asked for help and asked someone to take him to the scene. Okay, they got to the scene and a lot of people already were there. They got to the scene and Lesedi was lying there in a pool of blood. And then later on, that's when we arrived and we saw Lesedi lying there as well. The ambulance was not yet there. I think the police as well were not there as yet. But because I really don't know what happened, I was so confused during that time. I don't know if we found the police and the ambulance there or whatever. But okay, at a later stage they were there. When I got off the car going to where Lesedi was lying, I just don't know how I felt. I froze. I put my hands on my head. I didn't know what to do. I went to him. I wanted to lie on top of him. And I cried. I cried. But by then I hadn't got any information as to exactly what has happened about Lesedi. By then, only I knew was that Lesedi was stabbed 7 times for his cell phone, the very same phone that we actually bought for him for his birthday, and the money. the e-wallet that I made for him. You know, how I regret it. My daughter also regrets ever buying him a cell phone. Like, there's too many regrets, you know. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. There's a lot, because we start thinking, "Ish, if we didn't give him the money to go spoil himself, maybe he could have been alive. If we didn't buy him a cell phone, he could have been alive," and all that. But
Don't blame yourself.
Yeah.
Even your daughter, don't blame yourself. You know, when you do something good for your child, even as a mother, you feel so good, and you never knew that day which road he's gonna take, you know. And asilazi usuku, it's only God who knows what's gonna happen the next moment. So nje, I would like to say to you at this moment, don't blame yourself. You did what, as a mother, nami ngingumama, what I was going to do for my daughter or my daughters. So you were never wrong. Ipete yomtanako. You are happy, nijabulile, you know, and you are there, like, ukuthi, I want him to see how much we loved him. I think makayokipha le mali naye engqondweni yakhe, I was like, yeah, uyabona makoko. Makoko yangifavor mina. Uyabo, he was happy even to receive a gift from usisi wakhe. We know ukuthi abantwana banjani with gifts. So don't blame yourself, mommy.
yeah,
Don't blame yourself.
we're actually trying very hard, you know, to come to terms with his death. Yeah, we're actually trying, and it's not easy. You know, most people say death is death, but I fail to agree with them, with what they say. I believe that death can only be death if if it happened naturally, if it was natural. But somebody saw it fit, you know, to take God's stand as to saying, I'm going to take Lesedi's life, you know. They played a role of God. They had cut my son's life short. For what reason? For greed and nothing else. They could have just taken the cell phone and the money and left my child, you know. And for them to stab him 7 times. Lesedi doesn't know those people. Throughout the investigations, I'm adamant that Lesedi didn't know those people because they are even older than him, you know. Old enough to be Lesedi's either brothers or parents or fathers or whatever, you know. Lesedi didn't know them. But for them to just stab my son 7 times, it's very, very disturbing.
Indeed, it's very, very painful. So when you were there in the scene, the police now are there, the ambulance are there, and you had to go through that pain of now accepting ukuthi my son, it's no longer here. And did you find labantu abamgwazile?
Yes, we did find them. The police, yeah, throughout the investigations. And remember earlier on when I said Lesedi's passing worked, was everything about his passing worked in a miraculous way. Remember Lesedi passed in July, I think August, September, they found the first suspect. And then around September, October, I think. And then in December, they found the second suspect. So this third one had run away. Apparently, he ran away to KZN because that's where they're coming from.
Oh, the guys are coming
They are from KZN, yes. But they were residing in Jabulani Hostel, you know. But then after finding out that the police were looking for them, they ran away from the hostel. You know, they stayed somewhere. But this one, the first suspect was found in the hospital. You know
why did Lesedi fight back? Why was he in the hospital?
The reason why this first suspect was found in hospital was because he, for some reason, tried to rob another guy.
So this
Rob
guy-
him of what? Because I understand he's an Uber driver for some reason. No? He robbed him, and the driver, actually, he tried to rob him, and the driver retaliated. He retaliated. When he retaliated, this guy took out a gun and shot the Uber driver. Fortunately, the Uber driver had a gun as well. He took out his gun and he shot the guy, the one that was trying to rob him.
The same guy.
The same guy
stabbed
that Meratli
Lesedi.
said, yeah. I think that's how he was found. You know, the police got a tip-off that they were found. I mean, the first suspect is in hospital. That's where they will find him. And exactly that's where they found him. Unfortunately, the Uber driver, didn't make it. He lost his life, you know. And to this day, I'm still thankful for that, you know. Though it is hurtful that this guy passed on. If it wasn't because of him shooting the suspect, to this day, I wouldn't have known what has happened to Lesedi and who murdered my son. You know, I am thankful and grateful to that, but yet heartbroken that he's no more.
Yeah. So, how was like when you find out, okay, the first suspect now, Bamtolile, and you know that thing you could say now I have to go to Amakot, in and out of Amakot.
It's not an easy thing because I also have to fear. I also had to fear for my life because you know how these guys are when they see that you're fighting them. They will also want to kill you as well. I'm also living in danger. I'm not free. I don't feel free at all because I feel that they can do something to me as well because I'm fighting for my son, of which is not something that I'm going to lay low, not in a million years. If I have to die, let me die for my son, like wanting justice for my son. It's okay, let me die for my son, you know. But for me to just say, I'm going to just sit back and relax and do nothing. And Lesedi is my son. Even in his absence, he remains my son. There is no way that I'm just going to sit back and say, God will just do it for me. Well, I just sit back and, you know, let me rather do something as well. Let me rather meet God halfway, or let God meet me halfway, you know, in this battle, up until I get justice for my son, you know. So far, the investigating officer is doing quite a great job. I don't want to lie to you here. She's doing a very great job. And I'm happy so far with her, even though there are times where I would doubt her, as to saying, "Ish, they're not doing good enough and stuff like that." But she's doing quite a good job. And another thing is there is no amount of pain like that of losing a child. In my opinion, or in my view, this is a pain that is not going anywhere anytime soon. The thought of it, every minute, it feels like it's something that just happened a second or a few minutes away. It feels like a new thing, all the time. So you could imagine how I'm living, how my life is. There are times where I'm not coping altogether. Some days I will feel like, and especially when I go to court, I'll feel like, I got this. But when I get to court and I see those guys trying to defend themselves, not even in a place of saying they want to plead guilty or whatever, because they don't want to plead guilty. They keep saying they are innocent, It is hard to, face up with the people who murdered your son. And what made things even worse is that we had witnesses, the first witness, he was also murdered, he was stabbed.
By this guy.
We actually don't know, but by the look of things, maybe they had sent someone or other people to go murder him. So, but we don't have proof as yet as to maybe it might be them or whatever. But why would he die just after showing up in court, on that particular day?
Yeah, this is it's a strong case.
It is very, very strong. So there are some of the things that I'm not also going to be able to talk about because they might jeopardize the case.
Okay.
So I can only say a little, maybe rather speak about Lesedi and maybe how we feel, how it was and all those things. But the case is still on, Yeah, we'll also be going back to court on the 25th of September. Okay. Yeah.
So before we close on that one, how many suspects were arrested?
2 suspects.
2 at the moment. The other one
ran away.
Is still okay.
Yeah, she's still out there somewhere.
Okay. Are they inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're inside, and ever since they've been denied bail, since 2022. You know how the second suspect was found?
Yes.
He was found in court while he was going to support his counterpart, his friend.
He still goes to court.
He still goes to court. And he was also threatening me while I always went to court. Not in words though, but non-verbal communication. That's how he communicated with me. His threats were, that's how he was threatening me. His actions, and there were some cases where he would point at me. He will pass.
Before he got arrested?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Like he would have funny, funny moves towards me, like he will act in a very nonsensical manner towards me, Sometimes he'd be putting a stick of a matches to me before court. We'll be sitting outside, he'll be passing next to me and, threatening me with those actions of his. Look at me in a funny way, Maybe he wanted to threaten me as to saying I must just drop the case. I mustn't go forward with the case. Just say, so bad. I just told myself that not this time around. Not this time around. Another thing, there were times where I will go ballistic while I'm in court. Like I would jump over the seats, wanting to, go grab them and do whatever because I'm angry.
You're feeling
I'm
the
heartbroken. Losing a child is not an easy thing. It's not. It's not. Remember, you carried that child. You carried in your womb for 9 months. And, just when Lesedi is about to be something in his life and somebody decides to take his life.
So it's not an easy change.
It's not.
Now they left you with the scar.
A scar, yeah. There are those scars that are erasable, that you can manage to live with them. But as for this one, it's not a scar that you can manage, to say, yes, it's a scar, it's there, but I will manage to live with it. I'm not yet at that point where I will say I am managing. I'm not, And there is nothing that will ever fix it. Nothing. The only way that I can say it would be fixed will be when somebody will tell me that, hey, you know what? There's been a mistake that was made. Lesedi is alive. But I know deep down that it's not going to happen. It's not something that it's going to happen anytime soon. It's not going to happen. Lesedi is gone. But, I wish that they could say, no, Lesedi is alive. Then maybe I will be fixed. Maybe I'll manage to live with this pain or whatever. But I know that it's not there. It's not something that is going to happen. He is no more. He was taken away from me.
I remember earlier on you mentioned that your mother, she was the first one to run to the scene. I can imagine. How is she holding up?
She's heartbroken. She's even lost weight for that matter. This isn't sitting very well on her. It's not. She's carrying this pain because Lesedi was also close to her heart. Lesedi was one child whom you can trust with your all. When I gave birth to Lesedi, I didn't realize that I was raising a child for the whole community. I only realized on the day when we were burying him, the testimonies that I had from people talking about Lesedi, they were so amazing. I was also surprised as to how Lesedi, is this what Lesedi was doing out there? I didn't know that I was raising this kind of a child. That means Lesedi was very special. I know he was a kind, as a mother, you'll have some disagreements with your children. And like I said earlier on, that I'm a very strict parent, and having to raise kids. I had this thing, I'm raising my kids alone, as a mother. And during the absence of their fathers, and I have to do something, like take the role of being a father to my kids. That's what I was trying to do. So,
Through all that, I can also imagine how is your daughter going through.
you don't wish to know. You don't wish to know. She is broken, 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 broken. And they were very close with Lesedi. She's unable to attend court, to go to court. She can't. She told me that, you know what, Mommy, this one is one journey that you'll have to take alone. As for me, I don't think I will manage to attend court and not at any given time. Because I'm not okay and I'm not going to be okay. I don't even wish to see those people, But in the community as well, there's quite a number of people, a lot of people who have taken this journey with me. Without their support, there's a lot of them. I can't, there's too many. I can't, mention them by their names, one by one. But I've actually got support, quite humongous support.
Did you also get support maybe? Did you guys go for counseling? Did you go to see maybe someone, yes, a therapist that you can talk to, especially with your daughter and your mother?
They both didn't want to go through with it.
But did you take one?
I did try, but believe me, it's not helping. It didn't help. Because what they do, what therapy does, you just sit there with them and they ask you questions. You have to talk about your feelings and whatever the advices that they'll be giving you, it's only based on their profession. What they've read in the books, that when a person is grieving, this is how you should treat them or whatever. Like something like that. I don't know if you understand me. But to tell you the honest truth, it is not helping. It didn't help to an extent that I decided to stop. I even did try virtual counseling. At first it feels like it's okay, you're getting it right and it's gonna help. But once you're done with the session, it's back to square one. It really doesn't help. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself. It really didn't help me. But that does not mean I'm not going to try. But right now I just want to focus on Lesedi's case until it's finished. Then maybe I will say now I am ready to take or to go on with counseling, Because I see it as maybe it's a waste of time and energy for me, to be going to counseling and then the next thing it doesn't help. I go back, I break down, go back to square one and stuff like that, So let me rather focus on my son's case and then therapy after. It's still not easy, It's still not easy.
At this moment, I know losing someone, it's a hard pain you can't even, ungazi nokuthi uzoyichaza kanjani. I lost my siblings a lot. I think 4 of my sisters. Recently, I just lost my sister, I think 2 weeks back. But I understand the feeling. I understand the grief onayo at this moment. But there is something, engifisa ukuthi manje siyenze. Ukuthi, can we just pray? I feel like I can pray with you.
We can pray. I have came to a point where prayer, not that I doubt God, but because of what I'm going through, it's hard for me to even pray. I can even try to pray, but I will be mumbling even before I get to a real prayer. I'm struggling with that right now, that, prayer is the only way, and God will take me through that. I'm not saying that I'm saying I don't trust God, but it is difficult for me right now to say, prayer and maybe God or whatever will help, because nothing will ever bring my child back. If there was a way of bringing my child back, then we will be speaking a different story. I'm not saying that I'm not a believer, but what I'm saying is my belief, and in God and, praying religion, they've actually been shattered and, stamped down, But I know that I need help with that, to take my faith back and believing fully in God.
That's why I felt that in my spirit, ukuthi, like you, so lahlekelwe ithemba,
Kakhulu.
like you don't see anything engakundlulisa kulesimo, but at this moment, I would like to say to you, in Isaiah, lithi iBhayibheli, ngokufa kwenkosi Isaiah ngambona uNkulunkulu. And liphinde lithi kuJeremiah, I knew you before you were born. uNkulunkulu knew uLesedi before he was born, before he formed him in your womb, before akunika lo thando olokuthi ngumamakhe, angazi nje kuthi ngisho nje ukuthi God is with you. Uthi noma uhambe egodini lothunzi lokufa, ngiyoba nawe. So at this moment, I felt that ukuthi you have shifted everything.
It's true.
You are shutting everyone away from you. But uthi uNkulunkulu, I'm with you. In this situation, I'm with you. My intercessors akhona ekhaya, amanxusa, everyone. I would like us to pray for protection over your life. I would like us to pray, ukuthi uNkulunkulu, the strength you have. I like what you said in the beginning, ukuthi abantu, they say, I'm strong. But uNkulunkulu okupha amandla. In the Bible, athi Gideon, gijima ngalamandla nawo. In this case, uNkulunkulu uthi, gijima ngalamandla nawo. I'm there, I am your God. I know you said you can't say anything, but allow me to pray with you.
Okay.
Baba wethu oyingcwele, Baba wethu onamandla onke, yisele Nkosi yethu Jesu. Baba, uthe wena awuyi kushiya, awuyi kusiyekelela. You said, Father, when the enemy comes like a flood, you will raise the standard, oh God. Father, I stand in a gap. Nangu mamlindi wekhoza. Nomndeni wakhe, nomamakhe, nomntanakhe, oh God. I pray that may you have mercy upon them. May you have mercy upon icase yomntanakhe Nkulunkulu. Baba zibonakalisa unguJehova. Baba mprotecte lapha hamba khona. Mvikele Nkulunkulu oyingcwele emsebenzini. Mvikele kuyo le case Nkulunkulu namandla onke. Father, I believe ukuthi justice will be served, oh God. I thank you, oh Father, that you will give her the closure ayidingayo empilweni nkulunkulu engcwele. Baba umbathise, umqinise, umboze ngomlilo wakho nangamandla akho. We thank you, oh God, ukuthi ungunkulunkulu ozwayo, ophendulayo. In this moment, I thank you, Father, ukuthi uyamfihla umntana wakho, uyamvikela, uyamkhava. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We thank you. We thank you, Mami. And we sibonge nje ukuthi usithembe si my scars, my testimony, to come and share with us. We believe ukuthi sinawe. We will keep you in our prayers. We will keep you in our prayers. Before I close, I don't know if you've got few words you would like to say to ababukeli khaya before we close, or you can just, if ukhona umuntu othi mama, I just want to pray with you, I just want to be with you. And if you feel like it's safe maybe to leave your social media platform or anyone labanga contact khona, if you feel free, you can do it.
Truth be told, I do need emotional support because I'm broken inside, extremely broken. But yeah, I think more than anything, it's prayers, because there is nothing that is more important than prayer, even though I have lost all hope. I'm a praying woman myself, but I saw myself having to lose all that, because of my ordeal. And yeah, whoever who would like to assist, they are very welcome, to do so in helping me be able to cope with the death of Lesedi. Because, this pain, they just call it pain, but it's not pain. It is something way beyond pain. You feel it. The unfortunate part is that you can't share it with anyone. It is the pain that was assigned for you, the journey that you have to take alone. That's the situation right now with me, that it is the journey that I have to take alone. But on my own, I know that I cannot manage. But here is an obstacle. This case, the unending court cases that I have to see myself undergoing, But I also believe that it will be over one day and soon, It sucks. It sucks. Sometimes it feels like there's something that happens here in your womb. I don't know what it is. This area mostly will freeze. It's like it freezes. I don't understand what is it that is going on, but I know and I feel this thing inside of me, especially by my womb, ever since the death of my son. Like, it's the pain that will never go away, and nothing will ever fix it.
We will keep you in our prayers.
Yeah.
We will keep you in our prayers. Siyabonga babukele makhaya with your host Usis Nomzamo. Every Friday we tune in, we live, My Scars, My Testimony. Please don't forget to do the right thing. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And thank you so much for tuning in with us. Be blessed. Thank you.